And we are live here for the final race. Race number 29 of 29 here in the 1990s throwbacks. The 1990 throwbacks, rather. And we have a two-driver battle for the win of the Throwbacks Championship. Alan Kulwicki needs to finish 19th or better in order to secure a championship victory over Bill Elliott. Though, as we saw just last year, absolutely anything can happen in the final race of the year. So, just because Alan Kulwicki needs to get a top 20 does not mean that this race is in the bag, this championship is in the bag for him at all. The odds are certainly stacked against Bill Elliott for this race. However, it does seem that there could be something that happens. We'll find out live. Atlanta always has some kind of interesting twist or turn to it. We can have wrecks here, usually with people getting on and off pit road. That tends to be the most treacherous part of the race. Meanwhile, with qualifying, it looks like both Bill Elliott and Alan Kulwicki have terrible qualifying runs. They will start 12th and 13th respectively. How does that happen? Darrell Waltrip is going to be on the pole for today's race. Ricky Rudd on the outside pole, and of course Rusty Wallace, who is trying to at least tie for the most wins by any driver this season if he can win today with 6. Anyways, here's the top 10 of the starting lineup. We've got Darrell Waltrip. He is on the pole. Ricky Rudd in second. Rusty Wallace in third. Davey Allison having a very strong qualifying effort in fourth. Jeff Bodine will roll off fifth. Ernie Irvin, probably this year's most improved driver, is sixth. Tim Richmond seventh. Mark Martin eighth. Dale Earnhardt in ninth. And Ken Schrader, coming off of a very strong run at Phoenix, will be rolling off in the 10th position. And as I've already said, you can see Bill Elliott there in the 9 car, a bunch of rows back. He will start 12th, and Alan Kulwicki also in this shot to the right. He will roll off 13th. Here's the command for the final race.
Drivers, start your engines!
This is going to be it for the 1990 throwbacks. When will the prelude be up? I don't know. Usually the prelude doesn't take long, but once I get the cars and the ratings, we'll get that up as soon as we can. The pace car. Now rolling through turn 4. Of course, Atlanta, the big oval. Very long, wide corners. Pace car dives to pit road. The 42 cars come to the start and finish line for the final event of 1990. The green flag is out and we are underway here from Hampton, Georgia. 2x2 racing off into corner number 1. Doesn't look like anybody's going to have the advantage early on, although Davey Allison didn't necessarily have a good run through turns 1 and 2. Rudd is still hanging on to the outside of Darrell Waltrip. He dives it in deep going into corner number 3. He might be able to clear him here coming off of turn 4. We'll see. No, Waltrip got a really good run off of turn 4, side by side to the line. Ricky Rudd is given the lap lead there, and now Rudd looks like he's going to drop back to the 2nd position, or not. Rudd fighting back on the outside. Nobody really able to gain a distinct advantage here. Waltrip is trying to do just that. No, he has not cleared him. Here comes Rudd back on the outside. What a run by Ricky Rudd. He will take the lead by definite. Going into turn number 1, can he get down in front of the 17? He cannot. Waltrip fighting back, and now Rudd, I think, has finally cleared the 17. What a move there by Ricky Rudd to start off this event. maybe Darrell Waltrip isn't exactly up to speed or whatnot, because Rusty Wallace, he jumps right down to the inside, and he is going to try to take the second position away from the three-time champion Darrell Waltrip. Davey Allison is still out there on the outside. He dives down to the inside. What a move by Allison. They're going to go 3 wide. Ernie Irvin trying to stick his nose in there. Swervin' Irvin at it yet again. Potentially a high-risk maneuver, but it is going to pay off. There goes Irvin around the 28. Ernie Irvin to the 3rd position. Meanwhile, looking back at the championship battle, Alan Kulwicki, he doesn't need a fantastic run. He doesn't need a good run even. He just needs a passable run. Basically guarantee the championship as long as he finishes within the top half of the field. But that doesn't really matter if Bill Elliott is also going to struggle along with him. The only way I see the 7 losing this championship is if he ends up wrecking out. And that's what Alan Kulwicki needs to do in this race. He does not need to focus on being the fastest guy out there. He just needs to focus on being the cleanest guy out there. The less opportunities that he puts himself into to get wrecked, the better. Alan Kulwicki, all that he needs to do is just be very consistent and very smooth through this final race, and he will be the 1990 champion. If he wrecks out, Bill Elliott might get a championship handed to him for the 2nd year in a row. Like last year was just an unbelievable fluke. This year, I don't think Elliott's going to be as lucky. You see Elliott getting around Alan Kulwicki there. Trying to get around Phil Parsons in the 1. You can see there Sterling Marlin in the 94. He'll be in new equipment next year. Ken Schrader, of course, he's going to the 5 car next year. As Hendrick consolidates their 4-car team to a 2-car team. Meanwhile, back up front, you know, I was saying something about Rusty Wallace trying to get the most wins out of any driver this season. It looks like he's really gunning for it right now. Underneath Irvin, now underneath Ricky Rudd. And of course, Dale Earnhardt, he's trying to win 3 races in a row if he can get it done. The only other time that any driver has won 3 races in a row was Bill Elliott back in 1984, at least in the throwbacks wise. Bill Elliott back in 1984 when he won 4 in a row. Almost won 5 in a row. So, Dale Earnhardt, definitely impressive. Still the record to this day for the most amount of wins in a single season for the throwbacks is 8. Elliott did it, Waltrip did it, Earnhardt's done it twice. So, 8 wins seems like the big thing, but the magic number this year is going to be 6 wins. Alan Kulwicki has fallen into 6 wins this season. And that's what happens when you keep your nose out of trouble and be as consistent as he has been. And then you have Rusty Wallace, who has dominated his way to 5 victories, but has been terribly inconsistent and is by no means in any hope of winning this championship this year. If he can get the 6th win here, he'll at least have the consolation prize of having the most wins in a season. Meanwhile, Ernie Irvin, they'll be going over to Chevrolet next year, and I gotta tell you what, the breakout season from Ernie Irvin this year has been awesome. Coming out of the DK Ulrich team, number 2, coming over to this number 4 machine, didn't necessarily think that Ernie Irvin was ever going to do anything impressive in that number 4 car. Yet he's come out here, and he's won 2 races. He's won 2 of them. And the career for Ernie Irvin is definitely looking up. Something that also should be noted here in this season finale, we have all 5 of the 5 manufacturers here in NASCAR in the top 5 right now. We have Rusty Wallace currently leading in the Miller Genuine Draft Pontiac Grand Prix. And then we have the number 4 Ernie Irvan Kodiak Oldsmobile. And then we have the number 3, the black Dale Earnhardt Chevrolet Lumina. And then we have the number 26 green and white Buick driven by Ricky Rudd. And of course the iconic red Budweiser Ford owned by Junior Johnson, driven by Jeff Bodine. Meanwhile, we have a battle for the lead. Ernie Irvan down to the inside of the 27. And Irvan's got it. Ernie Irvan to the lead here at Atlanta. Don't forget how good Earnhardt is here at Atlanta as well. Jeff Bodine has tons of success here at Atlanta. Both of those guys tend to do extremely well at this track. Elliott currently in the 11th position. He needs to get up there. Right now, Alan Kulwicki is faltering. He is in 14th. He's not doing well. But the unfortunate thing is neither. So what is going on here? The 17 is slow. Darrell Waltrip unable to get to pit road or something. I don't know if the car died. But Darrell Waltrip very slow here coming down the front straightaway. That might bring out the first caution of the day. It does. Race back to the line. And your leader is going to be Irvan. So Ernie Irvan's going to lead him back to the line. And we're going to go underneath the yellow flag here at Atlanta. The first yellow flag of the day comes out here on lap number 17. Darrell Waltrip's car ends up losing power coming down the front straightaway, unable to get to pit road. We'll see if everyone decides to come to pit road here, and unsurprisingly, everyone is coming to pit road. Should be noted that Alan Kulwicki was able to pass a few cars himself there, as well as Bill Elliott, so they are now both inside of the top 10. Cars now coming down pit road. Should be interesting to see. Not sure who what that car is. That's the number 70 of JD McDuffie. He's just coming out. And now you can see everyone pulling into their pit stalls. Everyone's probably going to end up taking 2 tires, and there goes Irvan. He is out. Wallace is out. Ricky Rudd in 3rd, Tim Richmond 4th, and Sterling Marlin will come out in the 5th position as some drivers take 4 tires, other drivers take 2. It looks like a very long pit stop for the 28 Davey Allison. He is stuck there on pit road. That is definitely not good news for the 28 team. Not sure what is going on right now, but Davey Allison's car currently stuck on pit road. It's not coming off. So they were able to push Waltrip's car. He was able to get it back fired, but he will lose a lap. So Ernie Irvan, he will retain the lead, but we definitely have some interesting drivers inside of the top 10. Irvan is your leader, Rusty Wallace in 2nd, Ricky Rudd in 3rd, Tim Richmond in 4th. Those are no surprises. And then we have Sterling Marlin in 5th and Chad Little in 6th. 2 drivers you never expect to see that far inside the top 10, but here they are. And then it goes back to normalcy. Dale Earnhardt 7th, Jeff Bodine 8th, Phil Parsons 9th, and Brett Bodine will round out the top 10 in the number 75 car. Bodine will still be driving the number 75 in 1991. In fact, with the exception of Wallace moving over to the 2 and Marlin moving over to the 22, not many changes are going to happen inside of this top 10. Because Irvin's still going to be in the 4. I mean, Wallace is still going to be sponsored by MGD. Rudd's still in the 26. You've got Ken Schrader. He's not Ken Schrader. Tim Richmond. He's still in the 25. He's going to still be in the 25. Earnhardt isn't going anywhere outside of the 3 anytime soon. Jeff Bodine, he's still in the 11. Phil Parsons, he's going to still be in the 1. We have Neil Bonnet here in the 21. So he's still going to be there, although next year, it has been announced that next year is going to be Neil Bonnet's last full-time season in the Cup Series. And the Throwbacks, it will be his last year next year. Of course, we have Ken Schrader going to the 5. Terry Labonte will be going to the 94 to team up with an old team with Billy Hagan as the owner, almost winning the championship in 1984. Elliott is Elliott. Kulwicki is Kulwicki. We've already mentioned Schrader. Morgan Shepherd staying in the 15. Waltrip staying in the 30. Gant staying in the 33. Dick Trickle staying in the 66. Martin staying in the 6. Dale Jarrett, Rod Osterland's team. That team's going to end up being shut down at the end of the year. And Jarrett is currently out of a ride, and it's unknown if he even is going to find a ride coming in the next year. Anyways, it looks like Davey Allison has actually retired from this race. They end up having a broken valve, and that will end Allison's day. Everyone jumps down to the inside of Ernie Irvin at the start, and Rusty Wallace is going to go back to the lead here at Atlanta. Remember, the number 17 is a lap down. He's at the tail end of the lead lap right now. He is not the leader of this race. Some of the slow cars up front are getting out of the way for some of the faster cars. So Sterling Marlin's still trying to compete. After a disappointing season, here comes Tim Richmond down to the inside of Ricky Rudd. He's going to try to make things really interesting here. Tim Richmond. We've got Mr. Hollywood himself. And Richmond trying to clear Ricky Rudd. Not going to happen. Ricky Rudd has done a phenomenal job working the high lane of this track. Atlanta, well known for its multi-groove racing. It's a big, fast, wide track, 1.528 miles long. That's why the lap count is different for a 500-mile race here than it would be for a 500-mile race at Charlotte, because this track is actually slightly bigger than Charlotte. It's the same thing with Rockingham and Dover. You would expect them, being both 1-mile ovals, that they would have the same lap count. However, Rockingham's just slightly bigger than Dover. So there you go. What a battle for the lead we got here. Here comes Jeff Bodine down to the bottom, and again, he's actually only got one win this year, despite being third in points and having one of the best seasons of his career. He actually only has one win. Meanwhile, Alan Kulwicki's broken into the top 10. Bill Elliott is absolutely nowhere to be seen. He is in 35th right now of all the places. So Bill Elliott really having a bad time right now. It's unknown why Elliott is this far back, but he is definitely struggling, no doubt about that. Looks like Jeff Bodine has really broken away from the pack here as Ernie Irvin is still trying to get away. We have Terry Labonte in that number 5 Chevrolet. He's trying to get around Earnhardt, maybe trying to get around Irvin as well. There goes Labonte. He'll move into the 3rd position. Earnhardt trying to take 4th away in a crossover move. So maybe a lack of experience from Ernie Irvin here starting to show through as the much more experienced NASCAR drivers of Terry Labonte and Dale Earnhardt go right around him. Jeff Bodine has effectively checked out on everyone here. He's got a 3/4 of a second advantage over Terry Labonte in the 5. About a 1 second advantage over Earnhardt. Of course, Irvin's in 4th. And they've got about a half a second advantage on what is currently a great battle for the 5th position. We have Morgan, 6th position rather. Nope, 5th. 5th, 6th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th. We're all right here. We have Morgan Shepherd, Alan Kulwicki, Mark Martin, Tim Richmond, Rusty Wallace. They're all right there. Although Morgan Shepherd's definitely had a season that's impressed a little bit. Nobody really had any expectations out of the Budmore camp, but clearly they have shown up. Of course, we also have Mark Martin, somebody who had much higher expectations coming into this season and just did not meet up to him at all. A lot of people are thinking, oh man, look at all the championship contenders that are going to be going into this event this season. It's going to be crazy. And then you realize half of them did not meet expectations. Richmond didn't meet expectations. Martin didn't meet expectations. Neither did Wallace. Neither did Earnhardt. And that's 4 drivers being taken out right there. And that would pretty much mean that the only person that would come up would be Bill Elliott, which would be true if it wasn't for Alan Kulwicki's hell of a coming out party this season. Yeah, unless Elliott's really able to play some significant catch-up here, he's way back. Unless Elliott's able to play some significant catch-up, even if Kulwicki DNFs out of this race, he is going to be the champion. There's no way that Elliott can win the championship from that deep in the field, even if Alan Kulwicki ends up taking a 41st place finish here. So Elliott's really got to get the move on right now if he wants that title. Right now the title is all Alan Kulwicki's. Currently in the 7th position, in the number 7, actually struggling to find sponsorship for the next season. Xerox has already announced they're not coming back on. There are rumors of potentially the guys getting the U.S. Army to sponsor the car, but other than that, nobody. I like to tell you what, if he can come out here, have a great run, and win that championship, he will have a sponsor for next season, no doubt. He will get himself a sponsor. I think that's what Alan Kulwicki sees this as. Not only does he have to go out here and win this championship, he's also got to look well while doing it. It's all about getting the sponsors. Kulwicki dives down to the inside. And it looks like he's going to pass Darrell Waltrip here. Not sure what that was. Something coming out of my computer for sure certain. No matter what, we've had a pretty good race so far here from Atlanta. Definitely a competitive one. Should be noted right now that actually Terry Labonte is running down Jeff Bodine as their match of the trade continues. Remember, they swapped rides coming into this season, what was definitely going to be a one-year deal for both of them. I think Jeff Bodine is going to get that deal extended a little bit. But clearly Hendrick was not happy with Terry Labonte's performance this season, despite having a great start. And Labonte is not going to be staying. Hey, reuniting with an old owner. Sometimes it works, sometimes it just, well, doesn't. I still think that Terry Labonte has done quite well here for Hendrick, even though he's not going to be coming back. I think that he's done a pretty good job in that number 5 car. Definitely an underrated run this season. Getting himself a couple of wins. It's certainly a lot better than anything else that he's done in quite a while. Yeah, Terry Labonte's really struggled the past couple of times. He really has struggled the last couple of years and kind of sucks, but hey, he's clearly doing well now. And it looks like the 11 is checking back out on the field. And meanwhile, Mark Martin is trying to have one of his better runs of the season. Currently running in the 4th position, trying to run down that 3 car. And how about Alan Kulwicki? He's gotten himself into the top 5 now. Slowly improving, no doubt. We'll see if this race probably, we figured that this race probably wasn't going to come anywhere close to the same amount of drama that last year's race ended up producing. But hey, it is still an end of the season spectacular, and there is still a points battle to be won. Even though Elliott is struggling, he's only made his way back up to 18th at this point. It's still a race. We're only halfway through it. Alan Kulwicki still needs to survive. And that's all he needs to do is survive. He's got the car to run inside of the top 5 as he's clearly showing now. And meanwhile, up at the front, we did have a battle for the lead. It looks like that was squandered. And now it's going, now Terry Labonte is still right there in the back of the 11, maybe only back by 1 or 2 car lengths. He is still right there on Jeff Bodine's tail. We'll see if he can get anything done here, trying to go for the lead. Should also mention that there's a very good battle currently for the 8th position between Tim Richmond, Rusty Wallace, and Ken Schrader. Going back to that, there it is. Tim Richmond in 8th, Rusty Wallace in 9th, Ken Schrader in 10th, and of course, there's this battle for 11th, which contains a bunch of drivers, including Bill Elliott, who's, and you know, Bill Elliott really trying to get through this field right now as fast as he can. He knows he's got to at least finish in the top 10 too. Dale Jarrett in Rod Osterlund's last race as an owner. He wants to go out with a bang. Imagine if he can get a top 10 today. Eddie Bierschwell's just trying to get into the top 25 in points, which he does that for the 3rd straight season by finishing 25th in points. I'm just going to laugh. Like, Three seasons, 3 owners, 3 26th place points finishes. It's funny. It really is. It's funny. We'll see if he can end up doing that. Looks like Morgan Shepherd just got... Oh, wrong button there. Morgan Shepherd just got past Alan Kulwicki for the 5th position. So, Morgan Shepherd, the guy that won it, the guy that... I keep on pressing the wrong buttons. The guy that won at Talladega and not much else has just gotten around the 7th. Almost swept those Talladega races. Meanwhile, battle for the lead. Here comes Terry Labonte down to the inside of corner number 3 here. Man, Jeff Bodine is really hanging in on that outside lane. They're going to go side by side to the line here. You pick. Scoring says Labonte. And now scoring definitely says Labonte, as Terry has taken the lead here on lap number 46. Texas Terry Labonte to the lead. But Jeff Bodine is still right there. He still wants a piece of that lead, no doubt about it. Elliott continues to charge to the field. He is up to 12th. Here comes Jeff Bodine down to the bottom of Terry Labonte. These guys are putting on a racing clinic right now. Jeff Bodine is going to go right to that white line. We'll see Terry Labonte. He slides up just that little bit, but that's to get a better run coming here off of turn 4. We'll see if he can get it. Not as good of a run, he just wants it. See if Terry Labonte dives deep. Oh, we got a slow car here. Jeff Purvis in the 52. Certainly that's going to change things. Bodine. Nobody's able to get around the 52. Yeah, you saw Terry Labonte try to jump down to the inside of Bodine. They were all going to go 3 wide, and then they're like, oh, that probably isn't a good idea. This is one of the slicker surfaces in NASCAR right now. It's one of the older pavements, no doubt about it. So the fact that these guys are going at it the way that they are and deciding probably it's a good idea to not go 3 wide, probably has something to do with the track being so slick. Anytime the pavement really gets old, you know, the tires just don't grip to it as much, the tires end up wearing out faster, and it's not a good look. It makes for some of the best racing on the schedule, though. And we are definitely grateful to have such an amazing track, such as Atlanta Motor Speedway, to be the final race on the schedule. And here we go, we've got pit stops. The 11, the 5, 6 and the 3, they're all coming in. 7's coming in. Bill Elliott, who not too long ago was 35th, has worked his way up to 6th, unbelievably, and he's going to stay out here and collect 5 bonus points. You know what? What a move by Elliott. I think he was the only person to stay out. I think he was the only person to stay out. And he only stayed out to collect those 5 bonus points to get him an inch closer towards that championship. To make Alan Kulwicki have to finish just that 1 position higher to clinch that championship. We saw that 5 points won the championship for Elliott last year. We saw the missed opportunity by Tim Richmond. He could have done the same thing that Elliott just did right now. Stayed out, get the 5 bonus points, and Tim Richmond would have won the championship by 3. However, that has not happened this time. Elliott has stayed out. He has collected the 5 bonus points. And we'll see if that is going to be a difference maker at all in this championship. Excuse me. Coming back out to the lead, Jeff Bodine is your leader still. Terry Labonte still in second, Earnhardt still in third, Martin still in fourth. And it looks like Ernie Irvan and Morgan Shepherd are battling for fifth. In seventh, we have Alan Kulwicki. Eighth, we have Kyle Petty. And in ninth, we're going to have Bill Elliott with 1 lap fresher tires. Well, those 1 lap fresher tires aren't going to mean a thing if, for example, Alan Kulwicki doesn't end up wrecking out. If Alan Kulwicki doesn't wreck out, those points are all for none. If Alan Kulwicki makes one mistake, where he makes a mistake on pit road, we're going to have one more pit stop before the end of this race, so don't forget about that. So if Kulwicki's crew, they end up making a mistake on pit road, that can take them out of this title contention easily. Taking a look at it, we still have 33 cars on the lead lap. So if Alan Kulwicki were to make a mistake now and go 1 lap down, he might be trapped as far back as 25th position. And if Bill Elliott can finish inside of the top 5 from that, that would be enough. That would be enough to give Bill Elliott the championship. The thing is that I don't think that's possible. There's a reason why Alan and that team are currently the points leader. They've been the smoothest. They've been the most consistent. They haven't DNF'd all season long. They're going to be the first team in Throwbacks history to go coast to coast. All 29 races, 0 DNFs. Man, Dale Jarrett is really putting on an excellent race right now. He's currently up in 10th with Rod Osterlund basically holding a giant sign outside of his car saying, "Sign me." He's got nowhere to go for next season. And I think that's kind of sad because, I'll tell you what, Dale Jarrett is a fantastic driver. And he's going to be in the top 25 in points. So technically he's got to compete by rules. He's got to compete somewhere. If you're in the top 25, you've got to compete full time next year. But if no one, of course, that's just the way it is. Otherwise, the Throwbacks get hit with a massive penalty. All he's got to do is compete full time. Doesn't matter what it's in. He's just got to compete full time. Here's the battle for third. And the battle for the lead might start heating up too. So once that heats up, we'll definitely get back to that. But right now, battle for third. Dale Earnhardt in the 3, Ernie Irvan in the 4, Mark Martin in the 6. Martin trying to go to the outside, trying to navigate the lap traffic here. Not exactly working out for him. They all go to the bottom of McDuffie. Dale Earnhardt still able to hold off the 3, the 4, and the 6 for now. Taking a look back. Elliott continues to try to find his way through the field. He's up to 8th now. If we take a look at the fastest lap charts, fastest lap today so far, turned by this man right here, Mark Martin. 174.441 miles per hour here at Atlanta. What I have to say is that's a pretty impressive mark. Meanwhile, Dale Earnhardt continues to lead this 3-car battle for the 3rd position. Action has really wound down here at Atlanta as the situation that's going to end is pretty much becoming clear. We just got to wait for the last pit stop. Alan Kulwicki, all that he needs to do is finish 19th. He is currently in 7th. He should walk away as the points champion. The only way that I see Alan Kulwicki not walking away from the points championship is if he messes up in wrecks or his team messes up on pit road and he ends up going a lap down. If either of those happen, Bill Elliott's got a fast enough car to make it into the top 5. He will win the championship if that happens. If that doesn't happen, though, and Alan Kulwicki is able to stay clean as a whistle, he will be your 1990 Throwbacks champion. But anybody that knows motorsport knows that anything can and will happen. We have a battle for the lead. Jeff Bodine and Terry Labonte once again going at it for the win here at Atlanta. Inside 20 laps to go. Big question is, when does that last pit stop happen? That is always a question. Here comes Labonte down to the inside. Pretty good move here to try to get around Jeff. Can he make it happen? Oh, Bodine ends up getting squeezed there, and yes, it will. New leader, Terry Labonte. But can Terry hold him off? Every single time that Labonte's gotten around Jeff Bodine, it's only lasted for about a lap and a half, and Bodine's gotten right back around. Side by side off of corner number 2. These guys are really putting on a motorsports clinic right now. What an impressive showing by both of these drivers. It's been a clean, great battle for the win. Jeff Bodine back to the lead. These two, they're equal. They are equal. Coming into this season, it was a big question. Who is this going to benefit more? Is this going to benefit Bodine more? Is this going to benefit Labonte more? Who does this benefit? I gotta say right now, it benefited both of them equally. And right now, man, they are really fighting for the win. No doubt about it. It's going to be interesting to see what Sterling Marlin's able to do in that number 22 machine come next season. Terry Labonte looking for any way around the 11 car he can find. He is all over the back bumper of Jeff Bodine right now. Elliott back outside of the top 10. He's fading, and he's actually fading really fast. Problems for Bill Elliott. Elliott continues to fade. He's back here to 11. That's only excellent news. that takes, that takes a lot of pressure off of Alan Kulwicki's team. If Bill Elliott is really fading, this could seriously be the end of Elliott's chances of being the points champion. In a race that a lot of people thought, well, this is probably the race where we have to worry about Alan Kulwicki messing up. Will Alan Kulwicki crack? Will Alan Kulwicki choke? He's new to the scene. Alan Kulwicki's not going to last. I'd say Alan Kulwicki has shut everyone the hell up. He's going to be the first driver in Throwbacks history to go the entire season without DNFing once. And I think that should be rewarded with a championship. Meanwhile, Bodine trying to get back around Terry Labonte. These guys are still side by side. Meanwhile, it looks like, maybe looks can be deceiving, but it looks like Earnhardt and Irvin are catching these guys because they're battling so hard. Bodine back to the lead. 10 laps to go. They are catching them. Both Earnhardt and Irvin are catching them. These guys are battling so hard and so furiously that Earnhardt and Irvin are closing in. Irvin trying to get to that 3 car. Can't quite get there. Looks like Jeff Bodine pulled out to a pretty big lead here, and barring this lap traffic, he should be okay. But if this lap traffic here of Jack Pennington and Neil Bonnet, if this ends up messing them up, could be the difference in the race here. All of these guys have already won once this season. We're not going to see a new winner. However, a win for any of these top 4 drivers will be absolutely huge. Giving them momentum going into the next season. Of course, Earnhardt disappearing for basically the entire middle third of this season. Right now, Jeff Bodine holding his own in front of Terry Labonte, Dale Earnhardt, and Ernie Irvin. Looks like Labonte's starting to get a little bit of a run. Bodine down to the bottom of Bonnet. And Irvin down to the bottom of Earnhardt. That's for 3rd. And I think that might kill Earnhardt's chances of winning this race. I might be wrong, but I really don't think that Earnhardt's going to be able to win from 4th with this few laps left in the race. He's going to have to pass 3 cars in a very short span of time. And I don't think he's got the car to do it. I think that takes Earnhardt out of contention of winning 3 in a row. Oh, Jimmy Horton slows down there in the 80. And we're right back to battling for the lead. Terry Labonte once again all over the back bumper of the 11. When we come to the line, it'll be 5 laps to go. Jeff Bodine powers away a little bit. But then Bodine, he ends up getting tight in the middle of the corner. Labonte gets a good run off. Will it be enough for Labonte to take advantage? Down into corner number 1. So close to making contact right now. Doesn't look like any contact was made, but we now have a 4-car dogfight for the championship. Not for the championship, but for the race. Here comes Irvin down to the inside. Alan Kulwicki's won the championship, so we don't have to worry about that. And I guess those pit stops aren't going to happen either. I thought there would be another round. Usually there's 3 rounds of pit stops at Atlanta, but this time only 2. Meanwhile, Terry Labonte trying to use the outside lane, trying to get around everyone around a slow GD McDuffie car. It's going to work. Terry Labonte to the lead. That was a fantastic move. And everyone's still stuck behind McDuffie. Fantastic move. And now Bodine's going to be stuck there. Bodine trying to thread the needle 3 wide, trying to get around that 70 car. He just can't. Boxed in. Terry Labonte's gone. Labonte's going to win. What a move by Terry Labonte to win this race. Oh, there's still 2 laps. He could end up blowing up. Here's your series points champion, Alan Kulwicki. All he's got to do is bring it around the track 2 more times, and he's got it in the bag. Even if he brings it around once, I think he's still got it in the bag. Terry Labonte. He started this season off very strong with Hendrick Motorsports, and it looks like he's going to try to end the season just as strong. White flag, 1 lap to go here from Atlanta. Of course, Darrell Waltrip winning the 500. He would then go on to win Richmond. Earnhardt winning at Rockingham. Looked like the Chevrolets were going to dominate early on. It hasn't been the case. But Terry Labonte is going to end the season on a high note for Chevrolet and for Hendrick Motorsports in his last race for the team. Terry Labonte is going to win here at Atlanta. And your points champion is going to be the number 7 of Alan Kulwicki. Alan Kulwicki has just won the championship by 87 points over Elliott. There will be a lot of celebrating tonight, no doubt about it. The owner-driver from Wisconsin, Alan Kulwicki, has just won the championship with an absolutely stunning 23 top 10 performance, tied for 2nd most all-time in the Throwbacks history. Well, that will conclude the 1990 edition of the Throwbacks. We'll see the final point standings here and how they stack up. 23 top 10s for Alan Kulwicki to one of the most unbelievable seasons so far. Him and Phil Parsons end up sharing a very honorable distinction of having 0 DNFs throughout an entire season. Great job for both of them. Elliott ends up 87 points behind. Look at this battle in the mid-card. Like, 3rd through 10th is just so tight. The largest points gap between any of the drivers is 67 between those guys. Absolutely insane there. Including, you know, the 5 wins by Wallace, 3 wins by Labonte and Earnhardt, the 3 wins by Irvin. I thought he only had 2, but apparently had 3. Whoops. 25th in points was Shed Little, and once again, 26th in points, Eddie Bierschwil. He does it again. I don't know how, but he does it every single season. And that will be the conclusion to the broadcast here today. Hope to see you next time for the 1991 Throwbacks. I don't know when I'm going to get the prelude up, but I will as soon as I can. See you guys.